Okay, so so the course information, if you go to the Canvas website, you will see there is a sign up. Because in this course, you will be using a lot of algorithms. We have asked Harvard Odyssey, this is the biggest Harvard computer server, to create an Odyssey account for all of you guys. We're gonna put the software, the data all in a shared directory. Then you will be able to run programs from the account. And so we need to create an account for everybody. If you go to the course website, you fill out this form. You will need to get this done, I think, in order to get your first homework. Andy, is that true? Not for first homework. Anyway, you will definitely need this for, but I would encourage you to get this done. We've had students in previous years by homework too, like before the due date, they say, oh, I don't have an Odyssey account. I'm like, what were you doing in the first 2 weeks? Yeah, so make sure you sign up to obtain an Odyssey account. And we have a syllabus here, but I think depending on, maybe I have to travel or there's a snow day, we might have to change the lectures around. And so check the course website instead of the syllabus for updated information. So we will use the website as the truth, okay? So that's my email. Yeah, so the lecture is here. The office hours is just after the lecture. My office is also in this building. Okay, so the course website, if you go to the Canvas website, you can see, we put all the lecture videos. I'll make sure all the lecture videos are online the day I give the lecture. And all the lecture slides are there. Well, I just gave the TA also this pad. They will also hopefully record their lab material. And all the homework material is there. I think I can even show you this. Yeah, so this is the main course website. And if you click on this, you will see, yeah, you can see a Tuesday lecture. This is Tuesday, Thursday labs, and this is the videos. By the way, these are not my video yet. The slides and videos, the top 2 links are for mine, and the rest are for the videos I see that's online, which I thought are kind of interesting. From previous years, we used to show people a paper. It's such a pain to read a paper, right? So, but there are a lot of things, like a 3-minute video can show you how this is done, and you can learn a lot. Yeah, so here's another sign up for the Odyssey. So Andy will release homework 1 today, okay? And also, we know some students prefer to look at the slides ahead of time. I'm a kind of a last-minute person, and I might be updating things. And so you can see last year's material. We only change, I would say, probably 20% or 15% of the material every year. And so you can get, I would say, 90% of the slides information from last year, okay, which is here. Yeah, so, and also, if you go to the main page, so in earlier years in this course, we used to ask the students to create videos in here. You can see here. This is kind of to show you how to make a YouTube tutorial. I think these now technologies are really great now. There are new things. So, but then these are videos, YouTube videos created by previous years of students taking this course. They can show you step by step. You click on this, you type this, and this is what you will get, right? So hopefully that kind of will help you get your homework done, to get your program like run. Yeah, hopefully it will make things a little easier. So you can go to this, which is, yeah. And we make the course website open to all the public, the world. And so if you want to audit the course, you're welcome to come to the lecture, but you can also just watch it online. We put everything online, slides, videos. You can also take the course in the Longwood campus without coming to Cambridge all the time. So Andy, do you know whether we can create the Odyssey account for students just auditing the course?
Yeah, if you're auditing the course for your
Okay, we were not so sure, but at least you need a Harvard ID. We certainly don't help people who are not Harvard, unfortunately. I think if you have a Harvard ID, you do the sign up, Odyssey can create an account for you. But I would say the TAs are not responsible for grading your homework, which is unfortunate. But then doing the homework is very, very important. It's like you can't learn programming by just going to lectures. You have to really code. Right? It's the same. You have to play with data. So if you can get a Linux account elsewhere, we can share with you the data. In fact, most of the data we have is public data anyways, right? So you can get the data, you can install the software and run it, but that's just the only way you can do this course. Yeah, so the labs are on Tuesday and Thursday, one at School of Public Health and the other in Cambridge. We'll teach the exact same material. So if this, like this homework, say homework 1 is, Andy is teaching it, he will teach the same material across 2 campuses. You can go to either one, and you can also go to both. And the first, usually the first hour will just, they teach you some hands-on skills. They might have some slides. They kind of show you on the computer. The second hour, you guys can just do things and ask for questions. You know, then you'll be on your own to test and ask each other questions. We encourage students to kind of work on this together. You do need to turn in your individual homework, write your own code. But I think in some sense, bioinformatics is a lot of trial and error. We do not want you guys to get stuck. But the reality is, you know, the tools are written by different people. Depending on whether the person has a PhD or is a postdoc, or whatever, their coding skills might be different. So a lot of these tools take a lot of tries. You need to read the README, you know, check what people write about the different parameters, you know, try different things, see what you get, right? So we have 2 teaching fellows. So Andy is there, and Yushi is there. So they will be teaching all the labs. And we also have a grader. She will not teach any of the labs. She will just help us grade homework. Who did? She did very well in this course last year. Okay. Yeah. So, but the lab material is the same. You can go to either one. Yeah. So that's that. So then the next is the homework and grading. You can discuss your homework directly on Canvas. So Andy has created. So for each homework, we will have one discussion board. And if you have questions, it's like, oh, this is so stupid, I can't get this to run, or you know, some problems, you just write on there. The teaching fellows will be there, and very often we will see the other students answering questions for each other, which is even just the best. And then you will also submit your homework directly on Canvas, and when the homework is graded, you will see your grade on Canvas. Unfortunately, we cannot give out the solution. When you do the homework, you will see it's very, very difficult to make this homework. And so we don't change most of the questions. But we do need you to turn in your individual work. Please be honest and just honor code. So homework 1. Homework 1 is to prune out students who don't have the background. It's a very easy one. And so it only counts for 8 points. If this one takes you a long time, we will just let you know homework 2 and 6 will probably take 3 to 4 times more effort than homework 1. So you can gauge whether you have the right background, okay? So homework 2 and 6 each will count about 15 points for undergraduates and 20 points for graduate level. As we mentioned, the lecture material will be the same, but the graduate material, homework will be slightly different. You will do everything the undergraduates do, but then will be additional questions for the graduate. I think the first homework might be the same. Yeah, first homework is just to make sure everybody has the basics. Okay? And then we will have a survey after each homework. If you do this, regardless of your answers, we'll get you like a quarter of a point. This is just to ask some feedback, you know. So usually we'll just ask, are there things you like about the lectures? And which lecture you really hate, you know, something you really didn't like, you know, what can we do to improve it? And also for the lab, and homework. We want to get some feedback. How can we make this course better? We realize that sometimes everybody asks for different things. Some people need more biology, some need more coding, some people need more statistics. We can't try to fulfill everybody. We'll try to hopefully make more people happy in this course. Okay, so make sure you do the survey. It's not a lot of points, but we definitely want to hear back from you. There will be a final exam. This will be open book. Based on last year's final exam and the students' feedback, the final exam will just be something like you're approached by a collaborator, and he has this type of data. Tell us roughly how you would go about analyzing it, right? So you can say, okay, I'll try this, let's at least generate some hypothesis. I would say, I run this tool to get this, I run that tool to get this, and then get some ideas. Or we say, there's this new technique developed, and it's supposed to do something. There's no algorithm. Can you think about some ways how you would, write something, at least to kind of make sure the experiment is working? Right, something like that, just kind of brainstorm. Because I realized from last year, because actually the TAs used to grade the final exam. Last year I graded this open question. I realized a lot of students throughout the course, they learn a lot of tools, and at the end, they don't know how to analyze a real question, like a real biological question. So that's why in this year, we're going to shrink the course a bit, because now we have lectures that's only an hour 15 minutes rather than an hour 30 minutes. In addition, we now, at the end of every module, we have one lecture where there's no teaching a material. We'll just show you a few papers, like this kind of scenario. We ask you, you're approached by a collaborator, or we have this new data type. Then brainstorm. What would you do? 1, 2, 3, 4. There are some actual good recipes. You say, okay, now I get the idea. You do this, you follow by this, follow by this. If I get this result, I'll run this. If I get that, I'll try something else. Right? So that's something we kind of want to teach you. Okay? So that's the final question. The bonus credit is, I realize some of the tool developers, they can teach this better than I can. They already have videos online. Some of them are long, which is not so great, but there are some people who are teaching amazingly well. For 10 minutes, they teach you how to do t-SNE, how to do hierarchical clustering or something, right? They're just great. If you go to the course website, I think you can already see some of this. Let's see. So from the course schedule, yeah, you can see here. So see here, heat maps, differential expression, the t-test, design matrix. You can see I stole this from YouTube. I didn't steal, I just linked them. I try to find the short ones, or if this is a tool developer themselves giving the lecture, right? I usually link them because I know they're supposed to be good at their own things. Then I'll put this here. They are not required, but if you want to learn more, that's what you can read. But we will always put my slides and my videos on the top. Okay, but then in the course, we will also in the different lectures. I think some of these early lectures, they're not. I think it's kind of mature. 10, 20-year-old topic. You can already find a lot of things online. But for some of these newer topics, we're going to also open a little discussion board to say, can anybody find a good lecture video on something? And then other people can nominate and you can vote. And if we really found something really good, we'll give you a little extra. Whoever nominated that topic video, we'll get you a little extra credit. It's really just for everybody to learn. We want this course to kind of create a resource for all of you for your future. I would say, I have TAs in this course. They told me in this course they felt they learned a lot, and the next year when they were TA, they learned even more. And also a lot of these videos initially is so overwhelming, and later on when you actually have to do research in that topic, you come back to this lecture, you watch the video, you can learn more. So it can really expand. Some of these might be a lot, like this one for single-cell RNA-seq. There's a whole course on this, which is I think 20 hours of videos. You can go there, but we're gonna teach you kind of the basics, okay? Yeah, so that's the bonus credit. And then homework 1 is gonna be released today and it's due in 2 weeks time. We have all the homeworks due on a Sunday midnight. And we give a total of 6 late days throughout the semester, so roughly 1 late day homework. Do plan ahead of time. I think homework 1, if you already have the background, it should not take you that long. If it takes you like 10 hours, think again. We do not want to get a bad review of this course because you found out later on that it takes so long. However, based on the survey, actually this is honest, on average, each homework 2 to 6 takes about 20 hours. It's not an easy course. But when I was a student, whether undergraduate or graduate student, I love those courses where I work like hell for this course, right? I hate it so much. We're in the computer center all the time. But then at the end of the semester, you feel like you're so empowered. I'll never be afraid about this anymore, right? So that's kind of what we want to teach you. So the late days is for the total semester, but each homework should not take more than 3 late days because the teaching fellows have to grade the homework. They will try to grade it like a week after the homework is due, and you also need to do the survey because I think we place the homeworks 2 weeks apart. If you take 6 late days on week 1, you can forget about this course. The homeworks get harder and harder. Right? If you are taking 4 late days in 1, you are not going to catch up in later homework. So try to get them done earlier. Especially for the high throughput sequencing, some of these runs, even if you run on the Harvard Odyssey cluster, this cluster has what, 20,000 nodes. But you know, in the middle of the midterms, the computer gets very busy. You submit a job, and it doesn't run in another 3 hours, and then to be on the queue, right? And then when it runs for like 5 hours, and then you have a bug. You have to change a parameter, run again. It definitely takes time. We will try to make things simpler. Sometimes we give you a baby problem, say a read mapping, instead of having you map for 3 hours just to get a result. We will just get the first chunk of the data to say, okay, run it for maybe 15 minutes so you can get some results. We'll try to make it better, but just don't wait until last minute to do this. Okay? I think that's all for the first lecture. Questions for the course? Logistics background. Yes, Sam.
Is there a lab today?
Yes. So Andy is going to teach you the basic of Linux and R. Just you can get started because, is that right? Yes. Linux and R, and also R Markdown. So all the homework are submitted with a specific way, and so the TA can grade them. If you learn it, actually, this is something I don't even know because I have this new R Markdown is only a few years old. That was after I stopped coding. But you will learn this very useful skill to do this. And it will help you with a lot of your other work. So every time you change your code, it will just automatically run everything, which is great. Okay? I think that's all. I'm going to stop the recording.